Evening, everyone. It's 6:07 on Wednesday night, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 585, and I ask you to please support us just by hitting that subscribe button. Costs you nothing, helps support us. Okay, so if you live under a rock or you don't have a TV or a radio, there was all kinds of hell to pay in Washington, D.C. today. I'm sure you'll see it, so I'm going to avoid getting into my personal feelings about it. But the market was absolutely a split personality today. We were up, I want to say, if I recall, we were up around 650. We finished in the Dow up 437.80, which is a pretty nice move, 1.44%, considering what the news looked like. The NASDAQ, however, was down about 200, rallied all the way back to up on the day, and then faded again to close down 78.17, or 0.6%. S&P was up about 55, closed up 21, or just under 0.6%. The Russell, unbelievable. I'm going to say the biggest day I've ever seen. It was up 78.81, excuse me, or 3.98%. And the transports came in second place, up 347.09, or 2.8%. And I noticed that there were a couple of upgrades of a couple of the bigger transportation stocks, J.B. Hunt in particular. Okay, so the Georgia vote was finally declared late this afternoon, and the Democrats won both seats. A big surprise to me, but that's the way it went. We also had an ADP number, which was down 123,000 payrolls, and it was expected up 120. So that's a pretty ugly reversal, and that means on Friday it really throws things up in the air as to what the government numbers are going to look like. Mortgage applications were up 1.7%, and that follows last week's up 0.8%. On the markets, the internals were pretty good. Nothing overwhelming. On the NYSE, it was 1.7 to 1 up, and on the NASDAQ, it was 3 to 2 down. And volume was up about 20% over the past couple of days, so it was really a strong day volume-wise. Now, tomorrow we have continuing claims, ISM non-manufacturing, so services, and the trade balance. And after the announcement yesterday on the Saudi and the oil cutback, we also had a number there, which was a drawdown of 8 million barrels. And I believe that the expectation was a drawdown of only 2.6 million. So that took the oil through 50. I'll give you a look. Took it through 50 to the upside, and it held it there. We got up as high as 50.94, so almost 51. That puts us pretty much in the area that I've been looking at, between 51 and 53. So, I think we still run into trouble here on the 200-week moving average. And of course, if you open the chart up a little further, you'll see that there's an awful lot of supply over a 2-year period in that $50 to $52 area. We also had a huge sell-off in the gold. I didn't see anything really to shake a stick at or, to explain it, but I did sell our position in Newmont out for a very hefty gain, and replaced it with the SLV. This is the gold chart, and as you can see, we got all the way up to exactly what we were talking about yesterday and the day before, which is resistance around 1962. Today's high was 1962 and a half. And we went all the way back down and traded 1902 after that. Looks like we closed around 1908. This $14 on the upside right here is actually tonight's action. Those markets just reopened at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Bitcoin had another monumental day, got as high as 37,035 and closed 36,565, up 2,050. And as usual, the dollar was lower most of the day, but it did rally up a little. It closed up 9 cents, I believe. Closed up 9.3 cents. I'll give you a look at that because it takes us back to that same chart that I've been showing you every morning, which is the support between this area around 89 and about 88. So on a weekly basis, we're still mid-range, but we have made a lower low on this. As far as stocks go, the big move in the NASDAQ to the downside was pretty much blamed on the fact that with Democrats coming in, there would be more regulation, which is usually what the Democrats do. But besides that, there's some question. There are a lot of very high-ranking Democrats in the Senate who are very anti-Section 230. 230 is the section of the FCC that holds harmless all of these social networks from being sued by things that other people post on them, which in fact makes sense. They can't, they can't look at every single tweet or every single Facebook mention and, censor them. So that's a problem. But the group as a whole was down pretty hard. Amazon was down 80 at 31.38 or 2.5%. Apple was down 4.41 or 3.4%. And Facebook, which we're short, closed 263.34, down $7.63 or 2.8%. We did have some news in the CVS and Walgreens world. Walgreens agreed to sell their Alliance Healthcare unit to Alliance Bernstein for $6.5 billion. And Alliance was up pretty strongly, but Walgreens was 43.03, up $1.87 or 4.5%. I heavily favor CVS, and we had some calls that we paid about 73 cents for that. I sold the final portion of them today at $2.20, whereupon the stock immediately continued higher and went to 72.78, up 232. Or 4.2%. That's actually up 4.2% is for the week. The stock had a low on Monday of 67.06, and as I said, today closed 72.78. There was one little one that I want to mention, only because, just shows you what putting out a press release saying that you're doing something in an area that is currently in vogue. This little company, it's called the number 9, the 9 Limited, and it's been a particular piece of crap for several years. It's been reversed 1 for 3, and more recently, in the last couple of months, 1 for 10. So it has moved in this week from $2.25 after the reversal, so from 20 cents up to $14.89 on the week, up $11.35 or 320%. But to put that in, give you an idea of where the stock has come from, on those two reversals, the adjusted high on the stock was 1,573. So at 1189, we are roughly still down 99% from the high, even though the stock was up 320% for the week. All right, everyone. Oh, by the way, GE and Macy's both acting really well. In fact, I think GE was up in the neighborhood of 60 or 70 cents today after yesterday's move. And so that one seems to be coming back quite a bit. And, their biggest division as far as cash flow and profits go is the power division, which are basically aircraft engines. And so with the airlines perking back up and the reopening stocks moving higher, it's dragging GE along with it. All right, everyone, I'll be back first thing in the morning. Be sure and watch a little TV tonight and see what went on today in Washington. Just to give you a little hint, if you haven't seen it, it makes us look like a banana republic. And I'm not talking about the mall-based store. All right, everyone, have a good evening.